Last time on the Great Loop 2021, Part 6, we had some friends riding along on the good times for a couple hours. It came time for us to cut them loose, and they headed back home, and we continued up the Caloosahatchee River towards our next anchorage in Fort Myers. Once in Fort Myers, we had some free time, so I took that to look for a place to do the haul out and to find the engines. Well, we are just pulling out Fort Myers City Marina, Marine Field, and I know it's a little blurry, but that's what I deal with when it's cold. And we're heading out. We're going to go run up to Caloosahatchee, continue our way up. Show you here what we're doing on the map. This is where we are, and we're going to be heading up. We're really only going to travel about an hour to get up here where the river tightens up, and then go ahead and anchor there. And I think what the plan is to then just wait until we get the motor situation figured out and ready, so we'll know what we're going to do then, and then move up the next 20 miles, I think it's 24 miles, something like that, to the marina where we'll do the work. And the reason is, if we're going to stay on the hook to save money, then that area looks like the best place, because up in the river it gets a little tighter and it's more like a river. So when boat traffic is passing you and all that, you know, it's beating you to death. There's a little cutout. I'll show you on the map whenever we get situated, and that ought to be a good spot to hang out. And then there's a marina right across the river, so we can, you know, come out of there if need be. Of course, I'll be heading back to the farm. I got a job to do, and then it's probably going to take me a couple weeks, which will be right on time, about the time we line up the motor situation. And I'll get down and we'll haul that and work on that and then get moving again. So, yep, we'll get her done. Beautiful morning, kind of chilly. I think it was, it got in the low 40s last night, which still was very comfortable in the boat. I prefer that over the heat. And the wind came more out of the northeast like we expected. So that little island provided some protection. Here's a little island we stayed beside. I was on the other side of it, so it provided some pretty good protection. And of course the bridges here, they provide protection, especially if the wind is hitting that at an angle. It does really good too. Another pretty area, like a lot of these places are. Of course, I gotta tell you, I ain't found too many bad areas on the water. Caloosahatchee River. The Caloosahatchee River gets its name from the Caloosa Indians that were in this area. marker is, that red marker is on our port side. And the reason it's not on the right side, because we are returning from sea heading upriver. And normally it's on right side. You can remember it by red right returning. But the reason is we're in the intracoastal waterway, and when we're heading counterclockwise, the red marker will be on your port side. Guys, here's a little time lapse that I've done up to where we ended up dropping anchor. Check it out, it's pretty cool. Please allow me to interrupt your time lapse for this important clip. I'm just saying, it's not fair to have a house and a boat that big. I bet if I had the boat that big, I wouldn't need the house. Dropping anchor again. A little spot right here. I wouldn't dare stay this close in the summertime, but for the winter it's fine. So cool. So cool. Beautiful out here. Here on the little spot. We actually moved. Come picked up our producer for Live at 5. And then we're gonna move back where we were. We thought this would be okay, but whew, it's a little shallow here. It's a shame too, because beautiful spot. Coming from, I didn't even see a boat go by. Weird. Rogue wave! Oh, the good news is this is fresh water. We did rock, paper, scissors. Marty lost, he had to taste it. It was fresh water. What's around that bend? Gator. So after that gator sighting, I drove around the edge for a little bit longer, hoping to see another one, but I didn't really see anything. So I decided to head on back to the boat. So this was the next day, and we had about 2 weeks to kill before we got to the haul out. We had both boats rafted up together, but this time Kontiki didn't have the generator yet. So what we would do is Marty would run his power cable over to my Honda EU 2000, and it would actually run both boats pretty well. But the problem was we needed some fuel. I had my son-in-law going to pick me up and drop me back in my truck in Tampa, but we needed fuel to get him through until I got back. So we went to the nearest drop-off point. I took the 5-gallon gas cans, 2 of them, walked over to the fuel station, filled them up, and came back, and we took them back to the boat.
Hey, I'm walking here.
I get my little cats so I don't lose any. Bit.
Again, the things you do to save a couple bucks. I'm going.
Heck yeah, but I'll take it. How's
I'll take care of the bottle.
all right. Well, leaving good times for a few days. Got all the got the solar panels charging the batteries. Shouldn't be no issues there. Marty will run the generator once a day. Keep the refrigerator charged up. Shouldn't have any problems. What a beautiful day. Water is completely calm. My son-in-law is coming to pick me up in my truck. Then I'll be back down in 4 or 5 days, check on everything, and then back down that following weekend. So I won't be gone more than 4 or 5 days at any given time, but wish I could just keep on chugging. Of course, we wouldn't be going anywhere. We'd be sort of hanging here anyway. So after getting the fuel back to the boats and getting the generators fueled up, it was time to head back. Marty to drop me off, and then for my son-in-law to pick me up in my truck. Over the next couple of weeks, we had to be a little bit flexible on the schedule, so I've moved a couple things around so that we'd be ready to get the boats up to Glade's Boatyard to get hauled out, and then get all the work done. So y'all come on back. Next time we're going to be getting her up that way with a few interesting things happening in between. Yeah, one of the things I like to do is come down by the river and help the homeless people. I bring them beer.
Hey man, you can help me out with the sun.